Hello everybody, welcome back. It's Jake from Jake in the Wood. Wood is out of town until, well, next week. So sitting in for the Wood for this very special episode number 10, is our resident Tim Kalishaw of the show, iconic Syracuse sports fan, Steve. We are here to run down SU football schedule. I've been looking forward to this, wanted to wait for the Wood, but it's an itch I had to scratch. So let's get right to it. Syracuse football starting on the road in Virginia against Liberty at Liberty. Don't sleep on Liberty. 6 o'clock game. They return a 3,000 passing quarterback, a 1,000-yard receiver, and a 1,000-yard rusher. Again, it's Liberty. Steve, your prediction?
Liberty, well, don't sleep on Liberty, but I have some worries about the new team coming in. I still think this one's going to be a win.
Victory for the Cuse in week 1. September 7th, we are still on the road due to Carrier Dome construction that will hopefully be nearly done. We go to Maryland for a 12 p.m. game. A lot of quarterback controversy there. New coaches, they've been in the news for a lot of bad stuff. So, at Maryland.
At Maryland, I still worry about our rushing offense. I think we've got enough to take this one, given all the controversy. I think it's in the book.
This is a game for me where Babers is going to start to separate himself from some of the great coaches in Syracuse. This is a game in the past, a look-ahead game to Clemson, where we can't look ahead. And that is, in the days of Paul Pasqualoni, this is the kind of game early in the season where they just fumble away and mess up your entire season, but I think Syracuse holds on. Has Clemson coming into town on September 14th, 7:30 game. ESPN College Game Day will be there. We all know about Clemson, defending national champions. Syracuse football and basketball will be opening their seasons at home against the respective national championships in both football and basketball, which is a pretty crazy thing to say. Clemson returns Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne. He's good. That's all you need to know, and so is Clemson. I think they heard a lot about Syracuse keeping it close, 3-point game. Syracuse was the closest game Clemson had all year last year. Syracuse the year before that beat Clemson at the Dome. I think Clemson coming in looking for blood. Steve, what's your prediction?
I think, folks, we better buy all the tickets we can because Clemson's going to travel well. It's early in the season. Hopefully the weather's good. There'll be a lot of tailgating. They've given them a tussle in the past. I'm on the fence on this one, but I think their overall talent and some of the holes we have to fill, I'm sorry, folks. That's the name.
Wow, good to see that's not a homer prediction. That's good. That's interesting. So Syracuse at this point should be 2-1. No shame in losing to Clemson. They
Could pull it out.
legit.
Could pull it out.
We've done it before.
We got enough people and fans in the seats. We could do it.
Following week, we're at home, September 21st, Western Michigan at noon. Let's see. What do we know about Western Michigan? Not much. They averaged 437 yards and 52 points a game last year, so they have a high-scoring offense. Their starting quarterback is returning from injury. They lost a lot on their offensive line. They're only returning 2 starters there. Steve, Western
I don't think we want to sleep on Western Michigan. I think we got to bounce back from Clemson in a big way, and we will.
Yes, that I believe. Following week, we have Holy Cross, September 28th at 12 noon. Come to the Dome. Not a lot to say about Holy Cross. If you thought Liberty was weak, Holy Cross is probably weaker. They only return 11 starters from the season before. This is another tune-up game for the full-on ACC schedule. Holy Cross at the Dome. Steve?
I think we need to make a big showing here. We need to make a statement. We got to win the ones we got to win. We're supposed to win. I think we will.
I think so too. I think Babers will have them ready. Of course, Haywood likes Babers for president. October 10th, we travel to NC State for an 8 o'clock game. NC State is right there, ranked 35, 33. This is after a bye week. It's a Thursday game. So we're going to have a little rest from the start of the season. They've said, new coach at NC State, new quarterback, big rebuild year for them. on the road at North Carolina State. Steve?
I think again we need to win the ones we need to win. This is a good game to show that we're what we are, that the 10 wins weren't a fluke last year. I'm going to call it a big W.
Big W against NC State. All right, October 18th at 7 p.m. Pittsburgh comes to town on a Friday night. I've actually seen that Pittsburgh is predicted to win. They're like a 3-point favorite coming into this game for some reason. But they've also lost 12 starters on their team. We're getting a little extra rest for this one as well, because Pittsburgh's a Thursday and it's a Friday, so we got an extra day to rest. We got a fan. Steve, Pittsburgh in the Dome.
Pittsburgh in the Dome. I'm not a fan of Friday night games. It does give us all the TV to ourselves, but they're kind of an off-schedule thing. But I still think gonna be a W.
W. I think so too. For some reason, we're predicted. Vegas has Pitt as a 3-point favorite in this one, but yet they're ranked lower than NC State. So, what does Vegas know? Who knows? I guess we'll find out.
You make money.
October 26th, we're at Florida State for a noon game. Saturday, there is a big quarterback competition going on there. They have a great wide receiver. They are Florida State. They are ranked outside the top 25, which Syracuse is not. They return a great receiving staff, but last season on defense, they gave up 30 touchdowns. We're at their place October 26th. Steve, Florida
Hopefully
State.
our quarterback situation will be resolved. We'll see something out of the passing game by then. I hope we develop. I still think it's Florida State at Florida State. I think it'll be an environment that we might find kind of tough. I'm going to call it a loss.
Fair enough. Yeah, Florida State maybe had a down year last year, but they are Florida State. They're going to have, they're going to want to come back and show something. I think that's going to be a great game, and that's going to be the point where we start to gel as a team, as an offensive lineman. We got the grad transfer who's coming in here to shore that up a little bit. So, November 2nd, BC comes to town at noon. They lost 4 offensive line starters, but they return running back A.J. Dillon, who is a Heisman Trophy contender. And so they got a little quarterback controversy there as well, but Boston College should be tough at the Dome. Steve?
I think that's got to be one of those ones we have to win again. I think it might be a tough game, but I think all in all, we should be ready. I'm going to call it a W.
W for the Qs. So, yeah, BC's going to be tough, but again, you can have the best running back in the world that you want. If you lose that many offensive line starters, that's going to be difficult. It's a point in the season where they should be gelling as well, so we'll see. BC will be tough at home. November 16th, we travel to Duke for a noon game. Saturday after a bye week for Syracuse, so we get another bye week, get some rest. Obviously, Duke lost their starting quarterback to the Giants. Big controversy there.
Yeah.
They got a new quarterback, new wide receiver. Their running backs and offensive line all returned. So Duke is Duke in basketball. Football, not so much.
Football's where we get our revenge on Duke. I think, given that it's after a bye week, we ought to come back a little healthy. I'm going to call that, again, a W.
As I've said before, I hate Duke. I hate people that name their dog Duke. So, let's beat Duke as usual. November 23rd at Louisville. Again, here's another team that's kind of in a lot of turmoil. New coach, new defensive coordinator. They're going from a 3-4 defense to a 4-3. It's the second to last game of the year, so I'm sure by then they'll have their schemes down. Hopefully not, because we want to beat them as well. Steve, what do you think about Louisville?
Louisville's a tough place to play. I'm kind of on the fence on this one too. I'd like to call it a W, but I think this might be a letdown game. So,
Hot take. Louisville's tough. Louisville's good. And again, at that point in the season, you're looking at, you can't predict injuries. You don't know what's going to happen. We got Tommy DeVito, not much behind him. Like last year, we can count on Tommy to come in, take over for Dungy a little bit. This year we don't really have that depth there. So you're thinking about injuries this time of year. You don't want to think about that. Final game of the year, November 30th. Wake Forest comes to town to close out the regular season. They were bowl eligible last year. This year they're ranked number 60 of 130 major college football teams. 3 of their last 4 games on the road. So they're going to come into the Dome probably pretty tired, pretty weary from the road. Again, if Steve thinks Louisville is a loss, this is one we should pick up. Your prediction, sir?
I'm thinking we got to pick this one up. Last one in the Dome. Big day for some seniors. I'm thinking this one's going to be in the win column.
All right. So that puts us at 9-3 and looking at a bowl. Any predictions on that this early?
Yeah, it's early. Barring injuries, quarterback maturity coming, I'm thinking we're going to have a good season. I'm really, really happy about the recruiting that's been going on. That's been great. That bowl, that 10-win season win season last year, that really produced some results. We've got some good recruiting going on. I think Syracuse football's on the way up again, on the rise.
Definitely headed in the right direction.
Buy your season tickets early and often.
And enjoy the new renovations to the Dome this season as well. So again, there's your rundown for Syracuse football season. 12 games, looking at 9-3, according to Steve.
Yeah, well.
And a chance to win that 10th game that we got last year at a bowl, which we will obviously, or should be, let's just say, eligible for another shot at a 10-win season this year. And just keep the momentum going. Like Steve said, we're recruiting great. Babers has got things going in the right direction. And 9-3. Steve?
9-3 is very, very optimistic, but let's put it down.
Yeah, let's
cheer them on.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Get there for that Clemson game. Even if you're tailgating, Clemson fans always show up in droves. We can't let them take over the Dome. So make sure you get there for college game day for that one. So that's all we got, sir. Thank you for joining me.
All right, let's go.
Hey everybody, if you like this video, remember to like, click, subscribe on YouTube. Check out Jake in the Wood on the Facebook page. A lot more content coming up, of course. The Tommy Challenge is underway. I will be saying my prayers, eating my vitamins, and ready to shave that mustache. So stay tuned to Jake in the Wood. If you're watching this video, subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell them to subscribe. And the list goes on and on. One step at a time becomes a march. Jake in the Wood will be marching on all year long. Thank you for tuning in.